everyone keeps asking me the same question, what is it I love about black men? And I'm going to tell you straight why I love a black man. It's because they're big, they're muscly, and they're great in bed.
That the black man and the white woman just liked each other. Y'all want to know why we like y'all's black men? Because they not y'all's black men.
The most dangerous thing in this world are the tears of a white woman. And if you truly love the black man that you are with, you need to know that you need to have his back and protect him at all costs.
What about him? Is he like someone that's your type?
I don't like white men.
Why not?
I just never found them attractive.
So what's your preference?
Dark skins, dreadheads.
Okay, so what made you go dark?
My first boyfriend just like happened to be black, and like after that I just, didn't go back.
I'm not sure what it is. I tend to not really talk with those people too much after that point, because it's like, if you think about another person in that way, in that regard, then I don't have anything in common with you. I'm not gonna fucks with you. Like, we're just not going to agree. We can just agree to disagree because it's not worth it.
5 reasons why I prefer dating black men over white men. I don't need to say the obvious, but in addition to the obvious, they're also very adventurous lovers. And they want to do all the nasty things, and they like really nasty girls that look real pretty.
Because they have built these stories in their head
that black guys be fucking up.
That or
yeah, black guys be just that. Period. And whatever else you can say.
No. And no, actually, they thought it was like it raised them, elevated them in everybody's eyes if they were able to date a white guy.
So you knew black girls who only dated white guys.
It's going to be very personal to me as a redhead. Having red hair, freckles, fair skin, these are all things that I've been teased for growing up, right? For whatever reason, black men and women have loved it about me. They appreciate it. It seems to be something they're attracted to. I have always felt more comfortable and gone along with black men and women.
So let me break this down as simple as possible, okay? If I married a black man and had kids with a black man, my kids would not look like me. Skin tone, completely different.
Welcome back to the page. Welcome back to another episode on the public opinion. Big topic, white women versus black women when it comes to dating black men. Got a nice lineup of videos. We'll look at them, give our take. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and put it down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. But without further ado, let's get started.
So everyone keeps asking me the same question, what is it I love about black men? And I'm going to tell you straight why I love a black man. It's because they're big, they're muscly, and they're great in bed. You're never going to find another man like a black man who's going to make love to you the way a black man makes love to you. And that's it.
And I think that the black man and the white woman just liked each other. Y'all want to know why we like y'all's black men? Because they not y'all's black men. They're not. You don't know shit. Way back in the day, since we gotta go way back there. You know how we were separated and there was some still sneaky stuff going on, right? But as things evolved, got better, we started to mingle together, and that made a lot of us white and black folk happy. It did. And then we got to mingle together even more, and I think that the black man and the white woman just liked each other. I just think they liked each other. And you're mad about it? That's crazy.
If you are a white woman and you are dating, in love with, married to a black man, I want you to listen up. There are certain things that you need to know. And I don't think this is spoke about enough. But the most dangerous thing in this world are the tears of a white woman. And if you truly love the black man that you are with, you need to know that you need to have his back and protect him at all costs, including protecting him from yourself. And what do I mean by that? My son was dating a white woman. My son is biracial. They got into an argument in public, and she started to scream and cry. And my son immediately left the scene. She was outraged. She couldn't believe my son left. My son left because my son knew that if he stayed there and this woman was crying and screaming at him, a black man, there was not going to be any questions asked. He was going to be thrown to the ground. He was going to go to jail. It was not going to be any questions asked because this white woman was crying and screaming about him. Now, I'm sure this female may have been hurt. Her feelings was hurt. She was a little emotional. However, when you are dating a black man and you're a white woman, you need to understand that sometimes your fucking feelings and your emotions have to take a fucking back seat to not cause harm to the person you are dating.
Hey, real life. It all goes back to the history. If you're going to date anyone outside your race, it does well to know the history. It does well to understand the dynamic, to know what it means to be a black man with a white woman and what it means to be a white woman with a black man. Also what it means to be a black woman with a white man and what it means to be a white man with a black woman. You have to know what comes with that so that when it comes, it's not a surprise. It's not a shock. This is not the first time that you've ever thought about this before. You know what I'm saying? This is something that you were already anticipating. This didn't come as a surprise to you, right? And normally when people live that way, they tend to live in a way that prepares for that. When you get to the store, you're already not really paying attention to other people because you know that there's some old white lady staring at y'all. There's some old black lady staring at y'all. Y'all know that y'all getting the eyes and y'all know what's going on. So it's easy for you to navigate the world and live happily as that, right? But that's the main thing. Knowing the dynamic, that's 90% of the battle. Everything else is just reactionary.
Oh, now a lot of people, first thing they're going to say that this mother here, this swirler, if you will, is embellishing this. This doesn't really happen to black guys. You're just going to win it off. This is for any type of woman that this occurs, which when a woman's in an emotional state, she's liable to do anything, say anything. And then when you end up getting deleted, removed from existence, then oh, such and such. But it's just the fact that the fellas, ladies, whoever's watching, you got to watch what you say, especially when you call the police. No, not even having to call the police, but just if you're in the wrong area or wrong town, you have the wrong skin color, there's going to be some issues. And some fellas find that out the hard way. And for this mother to actually know, and a lot of mothers discover things about women once they have a son and they actually get to see it from a different perspective. In this case, that's what she's seeing here. And this is something a lot of brothers have disappeared from this earth because of those tears. But let's finish up this video and see what happens here. Let's go.
That you love, that you are married to. And I'm not telling you that if you are truly in fucking danger, not to get help. But if you're just emotional, you're just pissed off, and you want to scream and hoop and holler, in public is not the time. Because that can turn out very deadly for the black man that you claim to love so much, whether you realize it or not. If you were just dating a white man and you were yelling, nobody would really pay any attention to that shit. But when people see a white woman and a black man and you're screaming, all hell will break loose. Because when white women cry, everybody responds. Even if the shit is stupid, even if it's frivolous, even if it's a lie. The most deadliest thing in this world are white women tears. I have said this time and time again, and I learned this very early in life. I grew up in the projects. I was raised by two wonderful black women that helped my mother raise me. So I know what I have witnessed, what I have experienced, and I know for a fact of what I speak. I learned very early in life that I could be a voice for my friends and my family because people would listen to me far more than they would listen to them. And if you listen to anything I have ever said to you on this app, if you are a white woman and you are dating a black man, you are in love with a black man, you are married to a black man, you need to know that you need to have his back and protect him at all costs, even if it is protecting him from you. Handle that shit at home if you are not in danger.
Hey, real talk on how she brought it all together, man. I won't say that I hear it all the time, but I've heard the expression that the most dangerous thing is a white woman's tears. And it makes you think about Emmett Till, right? It makes you think about that. It makes you think about what I said in my other video about how when you teach the black youth that there's no differences anymore, it can cause issues, because that's kind of what happened with Emmett Till. Emmett Till he was visiting. He was from up north, where it wasn't all that bad to look at a white girl, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't looked at like that. There was the undertones, there was obviously the times, right? But it wasn't like that. But he went to go visit people where it happened at, and unfortunately lost his life because the rules were different down here in the South, right? Maybe had he been kind of geared towards that and told that this is how it was, maybe things would have gone differently, right? Who knows if the story would have still been exaggerated, who knows? But either way, we have to understand that still happened. Those white woman tears that she's talking about got that man brutalized and unalive, right?
So we have a Snow Bunny with a hood degree. She was raised in the PJs by her mother and two black women. So she's got her hood degree. So she basically is telling you guys her credentials. But sounds like she's an ally to the black community, and she realizes, and basically what she's saying, for lack of a better term, is she has privilege. Even though some people say this privilege doesn't exist, she's saying that. But there is something in terms of those tears, and I think a lot of girls learn early on. We can talk about race and all this stuff like that, but there is a difference when a white woman starts crying as opposed to other people. I've heard stories from, not me personally, but I have experienced something along those lines of working, and then when a white woman starts crying, when she knows she's in trouble, it's automatically treated as a different code red or a situation that she needs to be attended to or be taken lightly or give her a pass. Now, I've heard women who work in the healthcare field, and they have stories about anytime there's an argument or anything or disagreement, they'll say that white women tend to just start crying. That's always a coping mechanism, if you will, or a way to inspire some sort of sympathy in any situation. If there's a disagreement, that's just something that happens. And I know if you know that there's power and you're able to do certain things, you're going to use that. It's just how it is, man. But this woman, she was dead set on her whole situation of explaining that, hey, it can go down. But there's a certain level of willful ignorance, I guess. And I've seen videos recently on TikTok of women saying that they just thought it was all BS. And all of a sudden, a lot of these women are coming to the knowledge of things that actually happen that they thought was just BS within the black community, with things that are unjust, for lack of a better term, or does occur. But it may seem like I'm making light of this, but it's just something. That's how she feels. You got a son, you may end up losing your son. But that's a whole different conversation on how white mothers treat their biracial kids.
This lady actually proved that, yes, indeed, according to her, once a white woman goes black, she's never going back. Just listen to what she said.
What about him? Is he like someone that's your type?
I don't like white men.
Why not?
I just never found them attractive.
So what's your preference?
Dark skins, dreadheads.
So what made you go dark?
My first boyfriend just happened to be black, and after that I just didn't go back.
This lady said she can't date her own type, a light-skinned person, because her favorite is a black guy, and a lot of people are shocked. But what makes this whole thing interesting is the explanation she gave.
Black men or white men? You want the Morris Chestnut or the Ashton Kutcher?
No, give me my black man for sure. Give me my black man. Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm not really the type to date a white man.
Ashton Kutcher for you?
Honestly, in my own race, I can't date a light-skinned.
So what you like about black men?
Everything. It's not one specific thing. It's everything comes with everything, for sure.
That's a really good question. I've been asking myself that for years now. I'm going to be honest with you though, because I've been getting a lot of comments like this, and a lot of comments assuming and insinuating that the white men that give me comments about being with a black man, that have all of the obsessive questions about being with a black man, are relationships, are intimacy, etc. And as I've talked to these women, there's so many of them that I know for a fact tell me that they would never be with a black man, and they think it's gross, to be honest with you. They're like, oh no, ew, I'm not into that. And they're shocked when I say that I am. I'm not sure what it is. I tend to not really talk with those people too much after that point, because it's like, if you think about another person in that way, in that regard, then I don't have anything in common with you. I'm not gonna fucks with you. We're just not gonna agree. We can just agree to disagree, because it's not worth it. And most of these conversations has happened at the place of work. So you have to be careful what you say so you don't lose your job, because anytime you're sticking up for someone of color, you are the problem. And I've been in those scenarios several times. But I do think they're curious, and they want to know if the rumors that go around are true. And that is the biggest thing. So the biggest thing is they are curious about the intimacy and what goes hand to hand with that. And that is what they are interested in. They want to know why you as a white person are into someone who is not white, because they find it mind-blowing. At least from my experience, that's all my brain can put down. And they're jealous of anybody who has a good relationship. So anybody who has a good relationship, they're going to be jealous, because most people, this is shocking to me, most people do not have a good relationship with their significant other. And that's sad.
5 reasons why I prefer dating black men over white men. I don't need to say the obvious, but in addition to the obvious, they're also very adventurous lovers, and they want to do all the nasty things, and they like really nasty girls that look real pretty. Secondly, they're gentlemen. They never forget their manners. Always opening doors, pulling out chairs, walking you on the inside of the sidewalk. Number 3, they love to treat their girls. They like to get their girls' nails done and their feet done. That's not a white guy thing. It's not. Number 4, they're very masculine. I love a masculine man because I am like a alpha female personality, but I love when a man makes me feel like I am safe to be feminine, and I find that with a lot of them.
Wait. What are y'all doing? What are y'all talking about? Are y'all out here messing up the game? I just gotta ask the question, because if y'all out here moving with different standards for different demographics of women, or different women from a race perspective, just because they are a different race, or are y'all just simping across the board? Because if y'all out here dealing with chicks that's saying that they're alpha female, and look, I get it. When y'all send me this video and y'all like to do my research, I went through and I started looking at the comments, and I'm very disappointed in y'all. I thought that I was going to be reacting to a video based off of the differences between black men and white men, or white women and black women and all of that. And I'm very disappointed, because y'all are the ones that are putting the batteries in the back of these women. And let's be clear, they're all the same. I stand on this, and I know that this is going to be the video that y'all probably disagree with me, but I believe personally that Western women are all typically the same. Now, of course, we're going to have some anomalies out there, right? You're going to have some that's not a part of the majority of Western culture. But if y'all think that white women move any differently, of course you're going to have some extremities, right? If I believe that, for the most part, culturally, that a lot of black women are a little bit more mouthy. But at the same time, I believe that a lot of white women are a little bit more, how do I say this, deceitful. I think they finesse y'all a lot. They do. They project themselves to be one way, but they will absolutely take you to the cleaners and take everything that you got.
So, in uncommon fashion, I actually agree with Anton Daniels on this one. Honestly, if that's her experience and she's been able to get these things from men like that, from black men like that, that means that we've been out here simping on homegirl, and she been getting over, because what do you mean they like to get your hair and nails done? What about them that doesn't have to do with sex and money? What we actually like about black men, right? What is it that you actually with these black men? That's what we was trying to find out. That's what we was asking you. That's why we came here. We thought we was gonna get some comparisons, but instead you just said some simp behavior. That ain't how we getting down. That ain't how we doing it. Like the first reason, you're saying what we do in the bedroom, that's one thing. You're saying it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Guilty as charged. We do that. But a lot of these women just fetishize us. And I think she's one of those ones that she has a fetish for black men. And she fulfills that fetish. Which is why she even has the roster to be like, oh, with a lot of them. How do you know a lot of them like that? Because you fetishize them. You running through them. Or they running through you, one or two.
Because they have built these stories in their head.
That black guys be fucking up.
That
black guys be, no, it's just that, period. And whatever else.
No, actually, they thought it was them, elevated them in everybody's eyes if they were able to date a white guy.
So you knew black girls who only dated white guys.
Several women like that.
Several black women only dated white guys.
I know them to this day.
And you knew, I never met them. Anyway.
I'm not friends with them. I'm not friends with people who think that way.
But you just know
But
them.
I know them. They're acquaintances.
You know them, but you're not friends with them. Good. Make sure.
Yeah.
And you said you also knew black girls who were what? Anyway? They would
go either way, but they would rather stay with their own.
Black guys. Have you known any black girls who only date black guys? They wouldn't talk to a white guy?
Yes, I have.
Have you known black girls who they present themselves in a certain way that white girls wouldn't even try to talk to them? Or they carry themselves with a certain attitude that white guys
White guys wouldn't. And she's a black girl?
So what is different about them? How do they carry themselves that a white guy wouldn't even try?
Normally I don't know, usually they look very like ethnic. They would make themselves look and they would behave in a very non-white way. I like
black girl you talking
the girls that I knew were like Caribbean.
Have you known any white guys who only talk to black girls?
White guys, only black girls. No.
Have you known any white guys who...
That'll be very difficult because there are more white women than black women, so...
I've known guys, it depends on where you at.
And it depends on what environment they grew up in, because if that's all they were around, then it's very possible, but most white guys are not brought up in that environment, so...
It would have to be in the Northeast.
Yeah.
Like Pittsburgh, Philly, New York,
Yeah, and they would have to grow up in a very...
Part 2 of why I date black men. Now, a lot of this is going to be very personal to me as a redhead. Having red hair, freckles, fair skin, these are all things that I've been teased for growing up, right? For whatever reason, black men and women have loved it about me. They appreciate it. It seems to be something they're attracted to. I have always felt more comfortable and gone along with black men and women. It's just a thing. Black men seem to appreciate my body type a lot more. Some racists want to be like, oh, it's just because they allow you to be fat. No, I can be skinny, and a girl is still gonna have hips, thighs, a butt. I can't help it. I've never had them ask me to dye my hair. I've never had them ask me to tan, like I have an option of tanning. Anyway, it just seems like I'm accepted for me in whatever form that is. I feel safe with black men. A lot of you got really onto me not talking about BBC as one of the reasons I date black men. And it's not, okay? I did say intimacy, I did, but not every black man has a BBC anyway. But I would never date an entire race for the hope that they're packing. That is just weird. However, I will say the bedroom activities with black men and women have been top tier. I feel like I'm more than a body. I feel like they are interested in me enjoying the experience as well. Sometimes, guys, we're just attracted to what we're attracted to. I don't sit there and try to dissect why do I like this person kind of thing. Especially initially where you don't really know them, but you do know that there's attraction there. It's not a fetish. It's oh, I like talking to this person. A few people have brought up that it might be the fact that black men hit on me more than white men, and that is true. White men do still hit on me. I know some of you guys are so pressed. Your fellow white guys still like me, even after knowing that I date black guys. But usually black guys are the ones that hit on me the most, and it's always been that way. I must have the look.
I forget that when I come on TikTok and say quite literally anything, people with low IQ can view my videos. So let me break this down as simple as possible, okay? If I married a black man and had kids with a black man, my kids would not look like me. Skin tone, completely different. Hair color, well, my kids wouldn't be blonde or redheaded for that matter. They would have a completely different hair texture. Our facial structures would not align. That's nothing bad. Like, I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. It's literally genetics. People from all across the world have different facial features because of where they're from, okay? I have European features. That's where I'm from. Same thing. If I married an Asian man and had Asian babies, my kids would not have red hair. Eyes would look very different, right? And that would not resemble the features of myself. And that's why I say when I have kids, I want them to look like me.
It's funny how we have to tiptoe around the type of words that we use in order to be able to explain ourselves on how it is that we see things or how we feel. This is why I'm against censorship, because regardless of whether you agree with me or not, people get so easily offended at anything that you say. And so when she's describing getting into a relationship with an Asian man or getting into a relationship with a black person, which I'm assuming that's a part of the description of one of the reasons why she doesn't want to have children that don't look like her, she has a preference for being with a white man. And so the same way that I think that it's okay for a person to want to have children with somebody that looks like them, even if it's not about the children, right? Even if it's just your preference or who you want to talk to. I defend and I stand for people being able to talk to whoever it is that rock with them or for them to have their preferences. Now, whether you get that might be a completely different conversation, or the sacrifices that you may have to make in order to get what you want, depending on what you're asking for or what your preferences are, is a completely different conversation. However, people can prefer whatever it is that they want to prefer. The same way that I say that black women can talk to white men, black women can prefer black men. White men talk to black men, white women can also prefer white men. It's crazy how nowadays, if a woman, because I'm assuming this is from a previous post because somebody sent this to my email, if a white woman says, I prefer to be with a white man, it's crazy that people automatically assume that they are racist. But that shows you the state of things.
Definitely agree with the sentiment, man. You know, who you want to be with, have your preferences and everything. I do agree. Like, I feel like people should have gotten on her for saying that she wants her kids to look like her. I think everybody on some level wants their children to be little versions of themselves. Even if, like, how look is not really a big important thing to you, you still want some type of imprint on your child, like a personality trait. They like you do, they draw like you, they do something, they walk like you, they like you, something. You want something to be like, hey, this is mine and I'm theirs on a level deeper than just, oh, I popped them out, so they are. You know what I mean? Like, that's level, if you ask me. Just, you know, the child's parents is surface level. It's like, you know, son is my son because he back and forth just like I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's in just bloodlines and things like that. Definitely make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Put it in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. If you're in an interracial relationship, put it in the comments, man. Give your 2 cents. I really want to hear what you guys got to say. But with that, until the next one, you guys have a blessed one.